Park and Recreation Board meeting Wednesday, May 14th, 6 p.m. has the community center, quorum present, 6:03. No citizens available for participation or comment. Items of community interest will be the Memorial Day holiday. All city offices will be closed in observance of Memorial Day on Monday, May 26th. The Memorial Day celebration is held on the same day at 10 a.m. at the Memorial Garden in Community Park. If you would like to sponsor a flag to be placed in the Memorial Garden for either Memorial Day or the 4th of July celebration, those at home can link on the page. And we have several back agenda items to go over, and I'm going to ask that we just kind of go through them instead of consent agendaing them so that we can at least approve some of them.
Yes, and you'll have to make a motion to remove them from the table.
What do you mean, remove them from the table?
Just like the table with the motion, we'll have to make a motion.
Oh, the other ones. Okay. Got it. All right, so I'm going to motion that we untable the tabled items 4C, 4D, 4E, and 4F so that we can look at all of them for approval.
A second.
All in favor? All right, back on. Do you want to start with the financial reports? I guess they're all individually documented there.
Which one did you go?
Let's go with 4A. I feel like I'm on a game show. So that, we didn't take any actions on any of the actionable items? I'm sorry, I don't have my notebook from last time, I apologize.
Okay,
So under 5, we didn't talk about anything for any of those?
I don't think we
we didn't
voted
take
anything.
any action.
Yeah, we didn't.
So the purpose of the minutes isn't to note any discussion, only to note action items, correct?
When it's relevant to the motion.
Okay.
We didn't.
I'm going to ask that we skip this one because I don't have my notes to compare, and that doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me. So I'll motion to table 4A. Anyone else would like to wait for me, or does everyone else feel confident that that's what happened? I don't have my note, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Serge is seconding, all in favor of tabling this particular one? Perfect, so we'll wait for that one. Let's go for 4B. So do we have an update on what those categories are accounting for? Remember we talked about a little summary?
Okay, we're looking at the April financial report.
Sure. So what did we spend $150 for on the Easter egg hunt?
On the Easter egg hunt, we spent $150 on the bunny, and, let's see,
Perfect.
$25
What about 4th of July? It says 700 and then 950.
That's for
Okay,
security.
that, so we spend half a month on expenses, hold on. So that was, the 150, that was revenue on Easter. Are you looking at revenue or are you looking at expenses?
That's revenue.
That was revenue.
Yeah, that was revenue.
But I'll take that for when I get to the right line.
So that was your bunny, your door prizes, and your DJ.
Got it.
Okay.
And then what did we, I don't recall us having any expense for Nancefield project, because Nancefield is not on our agenda. So we wouldn't have approved that. That's not possible that we approve that.
No, it's not. You don't have a budget for that amount.
So why did somebody spend money from a fund that we don't approve or have funds for? Sorry.
What are we talking about here?
Nancefield Projects has a $178 line item, but Nancefield hasn't been on our
okay.
agenda for months, so there's not a way that we could have approved that. And we don't even have a budget for it. I'm confused. Maybe it's the wrong line, yeah. Well, city signs has a little bit more leeway because Katrina can get like posters and advertisements and, yeah. We have a budget, we do have a budget line for that.
Looks like that was money in and money out. Mansfield projects, that cannot be right. 78.
178.
Community outreach is usually yoga, right? Yoga and,
Right, yoga and Tai Chi. And that's money in. Well,
well, no, it's expenses. We
okay,
pay it out. I'm looking at the
they paid
expenses.
yeah,
Yeah.
they paid the instructors.
So I'll motion to table 4B until we can find out who's spending money for something that we didn't approve. Any second for 4B?
This is Cindy, I'll second.
All in favor? Okay. Let's try 4C.
March the 12th. I think we had dates incorrect on this. It was we had.
I think this is the one where it did not correctly summarize the previous conversation. And I'm going to apologize to the board. I did not have Katrina emailed us. Did anyone look at that and update her?
No,
No one did?
no, the mayor updated that phrase, on that item, which was 7, item 7B.
Next page.
Can we see that next page, Stephen? So I'm going to motion just right off the bat that we go ahead and table this one because the council did not have a stipulation provided on that. So that's not a correct statement either. I apologize. Can we table 4C?
Okay, well, I'm gonna need to know what you would like it corrected to.
Well, if you listen to the council meeting, there was no stipulation provided that a professional services agreement be executed with a scope of work provided by the city. The council approved it pending the agreement, but I didn't say that there was a scope of work to be provided by the city the way I recall that meeting.
They didn't require.
If you could, we do working recollection.
Yeah, I'll pull up the video.
If you could write it out.
Sure, and I do apologize to you as well. I didn't get a chance this week to look at, Katrina sent me the email earlier the week. I didn't get a chance to look at that, so that's part my fault.
But the only thing I remember is they required the professional service agreement, period.
However,
Yeah.
that you recall.
It's okay, we can listen to it, it's fine. We can just table it, and just so for sake of time, we're not going to approve anything without it. I'm going to motion to table this one for DC.
Hold on 1 second, 1 second.
Go ahead, you tell me.
Correction, if you know what the correction needs to be.
Well, just, I'm trying to jog the memory.
Yes,
This was after the city council meeting, correct? Or this was saying that we were taking this to, or it was after we had already proposed it to
this
city
was March
council?
12th, and the previous reading said
9 days later.
9 days after. So we had our special meeting.
Right.
We sent it to city council. City
Right.
council approved it.
Right.
And then the mayor came to our meeting and presented to us on this day of March the 12th. And that was the summary of his presentation. So we asked that we add that Mayor Holsey provided the update, that he asked for the changes, because it previously was worded that we wanted to make the changes pending the survey, and we didn't say that. And so I'm just apologizing to y'all that I did not have, I've been very busy this week, and I'm going to be very busy next week. I did not have a time to pull up the audio, and I'm happy to do that. I just didn't get to it.
So, hey, let me,
Mr. Mayor, can I get you to use your mic?
Let me, for my own edification here, so this was where I was providing you an update, correct? And I was reporting that the city council approved this item with the stipulation that a professional service agreement be executed and a scope of work provided.
So
The
I
scope
can't
of
recall
work-
the scope of work portion, so I don't agree to
Oh, what,
that.
from the council meeting?
Yes.
They only required that we get the professional service agreement.
And I don't remember you mentioning that at the previous meeting. I just can't remember. I'm getting older. My
Sure.
gray hairs are coming out,
And
so.
if you would write it out very specifically,
Yes, sir.
then that would be great.
Yep. So motion to table. Any second?
Yes, Cindy, I'll second.
Let me ask this. I may, if I make a suggestion,
You can, but I have a motion on the table. I'm so sorry.
yes.
All in favor? Excellent.
Who was the second?
Cindy, go ahead.
Is that when you come to this, if that is the only thing holding you back from approving this, it's just a call to strike.
The
The
line
aspect
item.
about-
Okay, got it.
And then you can go on and approve that item
Okay,
with that correction.
fair. 4D. And this one, I think we looked at it already. We were just looking for the right date. Oh, okay. And I know the January and February had the wrong date, so maybe I'm ahead of myself. This one is March. Easter egg hunt, community outreach. Easter egg hunt, movie in the park. What did we get for movie in the park in March? Just remind me, I've forgotten.
Let me see.
For $596.
Movie in the park expenses. That is one half of the screen rental.
Got it. Okay, thank you. It seemed like a random number, so I appreciate that. Can we see the next page? Oh, this is where our line item was. Got it. Interest income, Camel, community park projects.
I think that's why he's here.
So I just would like some clarification, whoever can answer that. What is Community Gamble Park? How is that a description? What were we bidding on? I guess bid was published, I'm getting that. We're bidding for the drainage to be done and the park? What's Community Gamble Park what?
Project. It was several things combined together.
So this is in conjunction with the bid had to be published, or
Correct.
the plans had to be published. So that's the first charge of
That makes sense, got it.
$457. The next two items are with regard to the city engineer. That's their fees for the work that they did in Community and Gamble Park.
What did they do?
And that would entail tap trail repair, et cetera, everything except for the drainage. The drainage of $14,690 is very specific, and that was their charge to address that.
So we paid them $14,690 to tell us that we have a drainage problem.
Yes.
Can I see the receipt from that? That seems kind of absurd to me.
Well, it's not. But we have they're invoiced, the city pays the invoice.
Did the community park project of the Hazlitt Park drainage, I guess I'm trying to figure out where that came in to be a park project. Was that something that
It's
we had
not-
approved? We approved to have the drainage? Because I feel like that was maybe in discussion, but not one of our projects.
Is this Fund 15? See, this is Fund 15. This is not particularly part of your budget. Fund 15 covers projects that are aside from your park board budget, such as, the events planning and things of that nature. That might be the confusing aspect.
Well, no, the way I understand it is because from our park fund development fee, we've bought several playgrounds now in the tenure that I've had on the park board, and I don't recall ever spending $20,000 for somebody to tell me I need to drain it. It doesn't seem to make sense. So I just would like to see a receipt of that because I don't understand. I'm in healthcare. I don't understand the drainage costs, and I do realize things are expensive. But that's just. But what came out of that $19,000 that I wasn't informed about? No one informed the park board. Hey, we're going to take $35,000 of your budget to pay these guys to tell us that we knew we needed a drainage system. It kept flooding. We already knew that.
We can, we will produce that, and
Okay.
we'll produce the drainage plans as well.
Excellent.
All the engineering documents.
So for
And
clar-
is there someone here that I could show those to, or do you just want to wait
I don't know.
for
Does
the
anybody
next-
have better knowledge
Do you
than I do?
want to
in those?
wait to the next park board meeting for that?
No, I think part of the problem too is why is this even on our budget? Because we didn't vote on it, we didn't ask you to do it.
You're right, and I don't understand why we're showing this Fund 15.
So maybe it needs to go to the city council budget and be taken off of this and approve it next time. If it's nothing that we approve or have anything to do with.
Katrina, do you know why Fund 15 is being,
I know it was separate up until this last budget year, and then it was combined. It was a whole separate, chapter. But, why that happened? No, I don't know. I know that we eliminated the Veterans Fund, that the Lions Club,
Right.
okay, you know what? One, we will get at your next park board meeting, we'll have our accountant here to
Excellent.
explain why this is.
That would be great.
But Fund 15 is a separate fund.
It's been on our-
aside from your park board budget.
Correct. But we've had Fund 15 for several years.
But
Whether we're supposed to use it or not, I don't know, but we've had
these
it
are,
here.
these are funds in capital projects that we identify, or
City
and
parks
Park Board
improvement.
helps us identify, that we put in a capital project.
Right.
And these are all capital projects.
Correct.
And those are paid by the city, correct?
Pardon?
They are paid by the city?
It's paid directly by the city.
Okay, not from the park.
It's not through the Park Board budget.
Yeah, so it doesn't need to be on there.
It's still a park, right?
I mean, the work is occurring in the park, that's the commonality of it.
Yeah.
And this is community park projects. I can tell you it's 1 million invoices, so.
So again, you've tabled this already?
I motioned
Okay,
for this one. For 4D. I motioned to
And
table.
did I second it?
Sure. We'll do it again. All in favor? Excellent.
I think we did, and then he had that explanation.
Well, because I asked about the screen. Okay, it's fine.
February.
4E. was the date, right?
24th instead of the 25th.
300, 725, 12.5. Can we see the next page? There it is again, with different amounts.
But it doesn't have anything coming out.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, yeah, it does.
I say we table it again.
What's the question?
I don't understand why we're spending $8,000 for something that, to tell us that we have a drainage problem.
Well, now,
Let me take an opportunity here. If you will
Yours.
scroll back to that first page that you showed. Here is your park board fund.
Correct.
It has your events and other expenses and things in it. Okay, separate from this fund, go to page 2. It's called Fund 15.
Yep.
This is a fund, and this is the name of the fund. We gave it
Correct.
to community park projects that we identify and execute capital projects out of.
So is this
You
something
don't-
city
This is
council?
nothing that the park board has any purview over.
Quick question. Did city council approve these surveys?
Yes,
So we need to make sure city council, because the way I understand it, this Park Improvement Fund 15 is given to us by a percentage of the tax that new homes pay and the city tax in Hazlet. So that goes into a park fund development fee, which
it
currently
doesn't
sits
go
at.
to the park board specific.
Correct.
It
But
goes
it
to
gets
a
moved
park
into the
fund.
park fund, right?
Yeah.
And so last 5 years ago, 3 years ago, we asked council, could we use that money to build a new playground, which is how we have the new playground out here, and they said yes. So back then, when David would come here, he said, well, that money is to help make new parks when a new park is ready. And that's kind of what we assumed it was. I'm not saying this is accurate. This is how we kind of have thought of this money. So collectively, those of us that have been on a few years have thought that this money was to improve the park.
It is.
Very valid that doing a survey would improve the park. But if we don't approve it because we're just a recommending body, how are we to verify that council has approved it if we didn't go to the council meeting?
Well, you should attend all the council meetings then. Every one of them.
Fair.
So let me say this. How does this work together? The park board goes, we think and we recommend
Absolutely.
that there's a new playground out here. Well, that
Yes.
playground might cost $300,000-$400,000.
Yes.
And then the city, Public Works, Engineering takes it from there. And that's accounted for.
Well, no, it has to go through council first.
And expensed out of Fund 15.
I think I'm just going to ask again because I'd like clarification from council that this is something that we should be approving
No,
and on our expense sheet. If
It's
it's not
not-
an expense that we recommended, we'd have no way to know what council does. That's not my board.
what was requested was various projects. And also, the city identifies projects in the parks.
But we
That
can't
need-
vote on how you use the money. We're not a voting body, so no one should be using our money that we can't vote on.
But this
That
does
wasn't
not
part of the
belong
park
to the
fund.
Park and Recreation
Exactly,
Board.
which is why I can't have my team approve it because it's not part of my budget. So when I have the park board budget, if you go back to that previous page, this money that's given to us in the park board fund, we can use it. We can buy Halloween decorations
ma'am.
if that's what we wanted to do. We can buy a Santa Claus, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is what council has said, you guys can do whatever you want with this money. The next page, Fund 15, is not our money.
Correct.
It's a park fund improvement. So if we would like to access that money, we need permission. I haven't asked anybody to spend $20,000 on a survey, so I don't think it's our job to approve that expenditure.
You're
when
not
we didn't-
you're not approving this expenditure.
But I'm agreeing to the expense line.
You can you can make a motion to strike this page and separate this from your report and approve the remainder. I think the only reason this is being shown to you is just to demonstrate to the board there's capital projects out there happening. That's it.
Well, and that's
That's the
fine,
only reason.
That's the difference, it's a capital project.
but why is it part of our budget? That's
It's
the
not
only
part
reason
of your budget.
it's been included
This is
in
only
our
being
package.
shown out of courtesy.
So I'm going to clarify that my line item says, consider, act, and approve, which indicates that I'm approving that. It should just be on the update
Then I would
section.
suggest if someone make a motion to strike this page 21 of 24.
I make a motion to strike this page 21 of 24
And approve the rest of the,
and approve the rest of the finance. for
excellent.
February.
Second. Second, all in favor? Moving on. Chuck motioned.
And you seconded.
No, I let you second. I said second and I pointed to you.
Okay.
So to approve Fund 4.
Yes. Okay, 4F. Second page. Dang it.
I would do
Strike
the
page
similar.
24.
I was just getting ready to do that.
Somebody strike page 24
I make a motion that we strike page 24 from the January financial report
and approve the rest.
and approve the other page.
Excellent. Second.
I'll second.
Again, all in favor? Perfect.
Okay, I'm gonna list that as approving Fund 4 and not Fund 15.
Excellent.
Well, you need to, in the minutes, please include page 24 of 24 was struck. It was removed.
Yes, it was removed.
And likewise on the previous item.
Okay, we are going to jump 5 to line 6 because the mayor is here with us and he's going to present to us. You gonna do all three together? ABC?
ABC.
All right, it's all yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And if you would pass those handouts, please, Ms. White.
I don't know where it ends and where it starts.
That looks about right. That might be double, we don't know. Uh-oh. Oh, those are stapled. You need one more? We're good? We're good. Okay.
And what you see on your screen's presentation is identical to your handouts. And this is just a project update.
Mayor, yours isn't broadcasting up there.
What's not broadcasting?
Your screen.
Okay. Where's my audio video tech? How do I fix that? Hold on. Let's try this again. There we are. Does that work?
Nice work.
All right then. This is project updates, capital projects, just to let you know what's going on in the park. And this is specific to the community in Gamble Park. This is the work that you see. The contract was awarded the last council meeting, May 5th, 2025, to MHB Construction, Inc. for $350,194.14. And the work that will be provided is summarized below. It includes tap trail drainage, trail reconstruction and erosion protection for the upper and lower water crossings and the tap trail. It includes a reinforced concrete slab for a new picnic pavilion. It provides, in the Gamble Park area, is an additional park bench and 2 10-by-10 shade structures for those benches, one for the existing and one for the new, as well as a reinforced concrete sidewalk connection in that area between the park bench or from the picnic pavilion to the destination of that sidewalk. I don't know, but there's detailed plans on it that I believe y'all have seen. The contractor is expected to give us his construction schedule within a week, but construction and through confirmation through them during the bidding process is expected to be completed mid-September this year. Next item.
Quick question,
Do you have
Mayor.
any questions? Yes, let me
Yeah,
go
quick
back. I'm
question
sorry.
on that. Will any of these take away space for like the 4th of July celebration that we have? I mean, we have to work around roped off areas or anything like that?
We will ask about that.
Okay.
Now, what I do know for that event, they would, I won't say demobilize, but they will put their equipment in a place and minimize their operation so that it does not interfere, or at least very minimally, with our 4th of July celebration.
Good.
Any other questions on this page?
No, sir.
Very good. I would like to point out this contract of $350,194 includes everything except for the purchase of the pavilion itself. The city is already ordered direct purchase that pavilion. It's in the neighborhood of $25,000. But included in this price, this contractor is going to erect that structure, that pavilion. So we save 25% by direct purchase.
I have a question on the location. It's not really relevant because I don't know that it matters to me, but there's not a bench there. It says there's a shade structure for the existing bench. Did the bench get put there and I just didn't notice? There's a bench there. Oh, okay. All right. So we're covering the bench and not putting in a table?
It was requested to have a shade for that bench because parents sit out there in the heat of the day and watch their kids play.
Separate from the pavilion.
That's separate from the
So
pavilion.
the pavilion's just not represented on this drawing.
Correct. It's just an arrowhead down.
It just said covered pavilion, so I was thinking that that's where the pavilion was going right next to the covered.
No, we haven't got a drawing here for the pavilion itself.
got it.
That's in the construction plans.
But that's included in this price.
Yes, ma'am.
Got it. But it's not gonna go right next to the bench, it's gonna go on the other side or somewhere else in the park. The bench is there, but the wording says covered pavilion, not just the shade structure. So the covered pavilion, although there's a dot there, doesn't mean it's gonna go right exactly there.
Correct.
Okay, got it, just in that part.
So maybe I should have put a cloud around this, in this area.
So it's just the whole park, got it,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you.
Any other questions on this slide?
No, sir.
Next item is very specifically to the Veterans Memorial Garden. For preparation of Memorial Day, granite rock is being purchased. In fact, it's tomorrow that this rock is being picked up. Is to add an additional 2 inches of cover on the existing garden area because we don't want to see the black weed barrier, and we want it looking very nice for our event, and it will be. I don't know if any of you have gotten to go out in the last, I'll say, month, but all the bricks were taking up, and the underlayment was leveled out, and the bricks were put back in and reset, and it's as well as they could get it. And so that looks very much nicer. And with this new rock, it'll be looking very well. The Veterans Memorial Garden redesign. The contractor that Mr. Fiedler and Public Works Director met with has not responded. So I called them twice to give them opportunity, and they have not responded. So thank you very much. We moved on. So I have reached out to architectural firms to get recommendations of landscape designers. And why do I do that? Because architectural firms had to use those people, and I know several of them personally, those firms, and they're not going to recommend somebody that they don't trust, especially to the city. So, and so, pardon?
We're back to square one.
Well, we're picking up where we left off with Mr. Fiedler. And just briefing, Mr. Fiedler is, I should have at least one, if not two, references tomorrow. And I'll be reaching out to Mr. Fiedler, so we'll have another meeting in the park for these people to come and look at. And by this time next month, I'll be able to report, hopefully, that we have retained a landscape architect and move on with this project.
At least see what their ideas are.
Yes, ma'am. They'll produce graphics and designs for this board to approve. Very
I'd like
good.
to preface this question with a comment that I completely 100% agree with adding granite rock, but I'd like to know where this, which fund these projects are coming out of.
It's coming out of Public Works maintenance.
Okay. As well as
It's not
the
out
landscape
of,
architect
It's not out of
reference?
your budget. The landscape architect will be a city capital project.
Okay.
Now, you got $50,000. We're going to spend that $50,000. You got that in your budget. But it's going to be more than $50,000 when this is over with.
Yeah, there's EDC boards that are willing to contribute to good projects like that.
Say it again?
We have EDC boards that would be, they helped fund the tennis court when we were a little short on that, so.
I think it will be more expedient. I've got contingency funds, and let the budget officer be concerned about that. Thank you.
Oh, it's no worries, we can do it.
Pardon?
But will it come back to the park board so we can see the design and?
Oh, yes, ma'am. You're going to be the approval body.
Okay, that's what I wanted to
We
know.
work
Thank you.
with Mr. Fiedler. When Mr. Fiedler's happy, he'll bring it to the board. No, nothing happens until this board approves.
Yeah, that was the graphic design you were speaking of, right?
Right. And we'll have that architect here to present and get your feedback. Very good. Next item, sand volleyball court. Additional sand mix for volleyball court use has been ordered to put an additional 3 inches in that court. Of course, they'll rework all of it, but they're adding an additional 3 inches on that, and I hope to see that finished and completed within 2 weeks. So,
Does that include just making sure, I know that when that woman who wasn't from our city, but she presented, she was noting that the edges needed something done. Does that include like the edging so the sand stays in it and all that stuff? Or is that just adding sand to what's already there?
well, the concrete edging will stay.
Okay. And this will fill that in.
But the grass around it on the outside, that'll be leveled down to get below that curb to prevent grass
Tripping.
growing in the sand, but also that entire court will be reworked.
Great. That'll be great. We've been waiting for that one for a long time, so thank you.
Well, it's time.
I'm talking
It's past
before the
time.
tennis
I
courts.
agree.
I've been waiting for that.
Any questions here? That concludes, that was all three of those items combined.
So I do have a question, because there's a line that we kind of skipped, and maybe I just didn't hear it. But we had a future agenda item from the previous meeting on the trees that were missing from the memorial bricks. Did you mention
I
that?
do not have.
Because it says here, update on planting schedule for new trees. Was that something else, or was that for the missing bricks?
Update on planting schedule. And excuse me, I do not have that. It was not provided for me to present.
It's okay.
And so let's just have a brief, this is not an act item, but let
Right.
me have your input. So are you looking for the suggested species?
No, we just wanted to know there's a planting season and we just don't want it to get missed, because people have honored their loved one with a tree and then the
Yes,
tree
ma'am.
died. So we would like to just have those trees replaced, and we just didn't know when that happens.
I would imagine when it gets planted is going to depend, is there water out there?
Yeah, I don't know. Why did it die?
I don't think so. And so that's going to be very dependent what time of year that gets planted. So I'm going to venture to say, now I'm not an arborist, but I have planted trees before. I'm going to venture to say the fall. So it has the fall and the winter to establish its roots. This time of year, and if the rest of summer is going to be anything like it was today, we got a hot time in the old town tonight. I will make a point to mention that to Public Works, Mr. Tucker, and and what we'll do is contact an arborist.
I just don't want it to
Depending
get
on-
lost in the cracks, just because of the memorial nature. I'm afraid it's going to get lost in the cracks. Like, oh, it's not planting season, so we'll do it when planting season comes, and then when planting season comes, we miss the window.
With regard to
so.
trees, if you've got water available, if you can take care of it, I heard an arborist say the best time to plant a tree
Was
was
yesterday,
25
right?
years ago.
Yeah, I
The
knew that
next
one.
best time to plant a tree is right now, but you got to have the means to irrigate it and take care of it.
We just want to keep it in the mind so that we get it done
Yes, ma'am.
for the person that did purchase the tree.
And part of that will be me contacting, and if we'll, Katrina, you help me with that, please take a note.
I did actually check on that, and they are gonna wait till the fall, you're right.
All right. And they is Public Works.
Is it possible to make a future agenda item for September?
Has the type of tree
August?
been selected?
August.
I know that it's a choice of just 2 or 3 trees.
Needs to be native.
Right.
I've heard them say that whatever they can get that's appropriate for the season and the style and the price at that
Well, it's probably appropriate with regard to what we got planted out there already.
and that.
So we'll follow up on that. I'll ask the difficult questions. All right, and then report back to you.
Thank you. Seems silly, but, it was important to someone that has a loved one's memory.
It
so.
is, and you're correct. It is part of our growing pains.
I've been asked about that also.
Okay. I had a tree fall over in my own yard, and I recently got a pecan tree, and I hope it doesn't die before I get it planted, because I was ready to plant it, but it's not 25 years ago, so I'm already behind.
But it is today.
I missed today. I thought it was yesterday, but 25 years is even better than yesterday, so I'll take it.
Any other questions on updates?
Thank you for the update.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you very much. And if I'll be excused, I will leave you to the rest of your work.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
See you on Memorial Day.
Yes.
Action item number 5A, the Easter egg hunt lesson learns discussion. Any feedback from anyone? I thought it went well.
I would say, I think it went
Once we got the
extremely
DJ.
well. I think having the volunteers is a tremendous plus.
Yes.
That made it easy. I know our DJ was a little bit late, a teeny bit late,
Just a teeny bit.
but it still worked out.
Yeah,
We
he's
need
still
to make
good.
sure that he understands that the traffic has gotten very bad out here.
Yeah,
And at
Or
that
maybe just
time of
ask him
day,
to come
it's going to
30.
be difficult.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
Yeah.
off. My
He was
suggestion,
on 820 in an accident. but-
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And that happens, yeah.
my suggestion was we pay him the same for the hour that we do for 3 hours, right? It's an event charge.
He told me he'd be here at 3 o'clock, so,
Oh,
and he's been dependable for many years.
yeah. I was gonna say, maybe we should just tell him it starts 30 minutes earlier than it does, and then we have him playing music while everyone's hanging out, so.
No, otherwise, I think it went really well.
Yeah, but if he was gonna be there at 3, then he was over an hour late, because he didn't get there till like 4:15. But we had a backup plan, and we let those little kids run, and they did good, and
They did good.
we had our own little signal system working. I just dropped my hands, and Serge said, "Go," and then everybody went.
I'd like to make a suggestion that we send a thank you note from the park board to the volunteer churches that we had and the volunteers that were there. It means something when somebody acknowledges
I'll
that you've
second
done
that.
something.
Katrina, can you tell me who the volunteer groups were? The two, weren't there 2 churches?
Oasis was one, was that?
Oasis,
That was the big one, I think. We can look back on it because they painted it.
Northgate Church helped a little bit. One right up here.
Were they just visiting this time? I think they were just watching. I don't remember.
Were there any, like, the Amazons or the FedEx volunteers, any of those there?
It was all church.
There was one girl that came, and she never sent me the link to verify her hours. She had
Oh, yeah, I
gotten the
remember that
link.
girl, yeah.
Yeah. She had gotten the link from one of her school teachers, and I didn't know who she was talking about. I said, "It's fine. I'll give you hours. Just email me and I'll approve it." And I never got her email. Did you ever get it?
I remember her.
Maybe she just had a good time and forgot. I don't know. My question was because I could make a card and ask you to send it, but if it's just Oasis, I think we can get one card.
Thank you, Mayor.
We had enough eggs. We had fun prizes.
Yep.
Maybe we need a bodyguard for Katrina. She had a bag of flyers that gave you a free meal at the Raising Cane's place. And in true parental fashion, somebody just had their kid go up and grab it right out of her bag. And Katrina was like, "You have to have a sticker." And he was like, "Ugh." And he went to his mom and cried. And then the mom, "Oh, what? Can you tell me what's going on with those?" And I was like, "Yes, ma'am, you have to have a sticker, like you would have gotten the prize ticket from the Easter egg hunt." "Oh, well, come on, come on." And I was like, you don't just take something out of somebody's bag and then get sassy with me that we took it back. Like, we had a number of tickets and a number of, anyways, it was interesting. So maybe in addition to a bodyguard for the bunny, we need a bodyguard for Katrina. I say that only partially jokingly. But that was kind. The donation was kind so that kids could get the prizes. They liked that. They had fun. Donations were good. Volunteers were good. I liked the area again. I think it was great compared to other times. So
So much easier to control it over there.
and it's not that hard to sprinkle in between and make the event a little bit longer.
And I think it's entertaining for the parents and the kids to watch us put them out there. Although
And
there was,
I've had comments from some of the parents that had been there previous years, that was, all over the place, and they really
They like this one better.
Yeah, it was a
How
good choice.
how did any of the vendors give any feedback?
They were all very pleasant and grateful and said it was great. I didn't get a lot, but
I just wonder if it was lucrative to like the barbecue place to drive that big truck out
He
there.
said that it was a good day for him, I asked him.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I talked to the barbecue guy.
You
and
did?
He was,
Yeah, he was pleased.
in
yeah.
fact, he said he's coming back for a 4th of July. Has he signed
Yeah.
up? Yeah.
Yeah.
He did. And the
And
guy
Christmas.
from, Mid-City Women's Clinic was there, and I guess gave away, I don't know what, diapers, baby items, whatever they, and he said, I gave everything away, it was great, so.
Cool. So we might keep the vendors next time since they worked out? You know, we weren't sure about it.
Right.
Probably just use the same approach we did this year.
I guess if they inquired, the answer is yes, but we
Yeah.
won't advertise for them.
Well, and I think as long as they truly understand how short the time is, the time frame is, if they want to come, let them come.
Okay.
So yes to vendors for next year? Because this year, we opened it kind of late, like I had already turned some people away.
All right. Memorial Day celebration is May 26th at 10 a.m. Do we have chairs?
I think it's
75
And we have a
75?
speaker, like a sound speaker?
We have a speaker.
Like, we also have a
Tested
verbal
speaker?
speaker. And is the fire station coming? Okay. And have the Boy Scouts inquired?
They haven't heard back from her. She
I
said
got
she's
one
gonna-
email today and it said, it didn't say they were coming, but it said, thank you for including me, or I'm gonna have to reread it. I really don't
Yeah,
like
but there's one thing where she said she was forwarding it to somebody.
that. Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
probably just saw part of that.
Right.
So no, I don't have quorum confirmation on. any
That's the only
Boy
one.
Scouts or Boy Scouts.
Okay, so if we don't, do you think we could have the VFW reps do it for us? The ones that you contacted?
Yeah.
Did we
There's-
contact the same one? Because I
Yes.
sent him an email
Yes.
and, but it was the post over here off of 287?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
We
yeah, I
have
mean,
multiple members from the VFW coming this time.
yeah, that's what they said, so
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Is that young man, he's probably an adult now, that plays the taps?
He's coming.
Is he gonna do
He's coming again?
Star
Okay.
Spangled Banner too? Did you ask him about that?
No, I didn't know we were supposed to ask
I
him about
remember,
that.
I think so. I'll look back on my text.
Well, I mean, we can pull it up on the,
Right, I have a recording of it.
Yeah.
Very nice recording.
okay, so,
And
but-
the
so
sheriff-
that's a good, how about the bagpipe?
Bagpipe can't make it.
Can't make it.
No.
Now, I
Sheriff's
found a
posse's
card
coming.
that I got last year from the Marine Corps bagpipe something. Let me see. Put my glasses on.
Can you hold it over here?
Yeah, you might. Marine Corps League, Department of North Texas, bagpipes, junior bagpipes.
Oh, nice. Yeah, call him.
Okay, I'll give them a call tomorrow then, see if they're
And-
available.
Cindy, are you going to be in charge of making the agenda for the Memorial Day celebration?
We pretty much turned it all in.
Okay.
Whoa, have we?
Well, the sheriff's posse.
Oh, yeah.
Sheriff's posse's coming.
Yeah,
But pretty much if you want to follow the procedure that we have in the past, we'll just plug in who we've got.
well, yeah, if we get like these, we'll have to plug them in
Right.
somewhere and, okay.
And I think that's
I,
the only
I would like to see it before we put it out.
I don't even know if we have to put it out as much as just have it.
Well, I mean, before we send it to print.
Oh, okay. Well, do we pass anything
I
out?
emailed all the draft and then, it hasn't been updated, it's just.
Well, yeah, can we put one together? Can we put one together? Yeah,
Yeah.
and,
We've got
send
15
it to,
days.
and just take a look at it and kind of see the order of events.
Right. So you, well, and
I mean, a lot of
normally,
it's gonna be
in
the same.
right, normally the Boy Scouts would hand those out and they list all of, all the members from the VFW that are going to be there.
Right.
And then the order of them coming in, then your speaker, and then,
I mean, if you want it different than the one I sent out that's from last year, let me know.
okay.
Well-
Well, we need to change some names and add some names to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I did not have at that time.
Right, well, we're still putting that together. So, I mean, what's the drop dead date to get that printed?
I mean, I'm gonna print them in the office, and
Oh,
this
okay.
is the 14th, so,
Like by next Friday?
yeah, I mean,
At the very latest.
Or midweek, because, I mean, you're
I
off.
would at least do it by Thursday. Fridays are rough in the office because we're putting out
Sure.
agendas for the next week.
Sure.
So we'll aim at making sure everything's to her by Wednesday.
Okay, I'll look at the one that we had last year, and then I'll jot some stuff on it and send it to you, and we can kind of say, okay, because we know everything except, and I'll find out about this tomorrow.
Okay. And do you want me to do the table and chair? The little,
The missing man
Yeah.
table? Yeah,
up to you.
no, I think that's always good,
Okay.
because it's there, and people need to understand what it
What
means.
it's all about.
Yeah, because,
I
you
mean,
know.
it's not there if I don't bring it.
Well, that's
If
true,
you
that's
want
true.
it, I will bring
No,
it.
yeah, bring it, because I like that part of it.
Do we have a laminated story, like that would go up on a card, so if somebody doesn't know what it is, they could read it on the table?
Well, that's what Cindy does.
But that's what
She
I just
explains
read
it.
to them. But we could do that.
Well, that's fair.
Because it stays sitting up.
Right.
Yeah,
Until I go back up and raise the flags at noon. That's when I usually take all that stuff back. So. Do you think you want one over there?
No, I just thought it would be nice to have like something laminated just on the table. So if somebody's early and walking around and they stop to read it, or if somebody's after and didn't pay attention to you
'Cause I
talking.
have it on my phone, that's where I read it.
Oh, okay.
She didn't get it.
That
Okay. I'll get that.
doesn't take long.
Right. That's an easy fix.
Just send me the text, because I don't want to have to Google that and come up with the wrong thing.
Okay.
right.
But I think everything else is pretty well set.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm looking
You got
forward
the
to it.
speaker, right?
He has his speech written, and he wrote me a intro bio, so,
Oh, good.
yeah, so he's good to go.
Good.
I talked to him this weekend.
Well, the intro bio is usually something similar to that's what you put in the program.
No, it's significant. I mean, it's a bio. It's not a,
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's where he served and all that stuff, so,
So just get his rank and his name.
yeah,
So you can put that in the program.
I will give his rank and his name, and then,
which branch of the service he was.
yeah.
Good.
So-
Anything else?
Yes, question. So it
Yeah.
starts at 10 o'clock?
Correct.
What time would you like our presence? Because we still have to put the
And-
chairs and all that, right?
Right, 9.
9? Okay.
No, we don't put them up.
We don't, the,
Public Works.
Oh,
does.
Public Works.
put them up,
But, I mean, if we're not gonna have the scouts there
right.
to hand out stuff, so anybody on the board who can come and can hand out the programs to people, that would be helpful.
9 o'clock is good.
9
And
o'clock.
also, we usually put out the flags the Friday previous to,
I was gonna ask you about that.
so if anybody wants to help do that.
Well, send me a text when you want me to be there, and I'll be there.
Okay.
I mean, the voice, one of those groups always comes through.
They do,
Flags, right?
yeah.
They will, but-
But 9 o'clock is early enough. 'Cause there's, other than wrangling and telling people where to go, and that's all you have to do once until it starts. We can check out the sound system.
So I will apologize because this is the first memorial service that I've missed in years. Usually if I work at 11. This month, I'm actually covering for someone who I owed a favor anyways, and I'm covering 8 to 8, so it's not, I can't swing that one. So if they cancel me, I'll come. I said if I get canceled, I'll be there.
Okay, good.
I wish there was a way we could live stream it.
Yeah, Stephen, can you live stream it?
I know Kurt, I won't be there, but I know Kurt has a Facebook.
He could Facebook Live it for us. We could ask him. Better than nothing.
I'll send him a text.
I'm not sure how much that'll be in demand.
Well, if I had Facebook on my phone, I would watch it.
For you, yeah.
But I don't even have Facebook on my phone, so I can't watch it from Facebook. But
Okay, well, there you go.
I was just curious.
We'll
If
tell
we
you
could
all
get
about
somebody
it.
to
Thank
stand
you.
up in the very back and just hold their phone up there and just,
Film it.
they can
I'll
post
shoot
it
you a
like,
text after it's all over. and tell
Thank
how
you.
it went.
Thank you.
well, we miss you. Okay.
Fireworks Independence Day event is June 27th, 2025. And I believe we have a printout here of the event. We have fireworks. We have bouncy balls, or sorry, beach balls, officers, jukebox heroes, real axed.
Nope, that's not approved. It's a quote for 575.
Yeah, but when I talked to Real Axe, they said that he owes us a credit and he was using it for 4th of July.
They were incorrect. The credit is from Christmas to Christmas because that's a 4-hour event. This is a 3-hour event, and I already had that on email, so I don't know who's answering their email. Like I said before, that's not correct.
So do we have them or we don't have them?
They have provided a quote for 575 for this event, and you already have them for Christmas for the credit.
So we need
So we have to approve the 575.
Yes.
Okay. Motion to approve Real Axe for 575.
I'll second.
All in favor? Approved.
Okay, train. We only have one train booked for 4th of July and one train booked for Christmas.
So what happened to the second Christmas train?
Sorry.
What happened to the second Christmas train? Because last week we had both.
Well, I might have made a mistake because we had a quote for the Polar Express train, but we already had approval on the Sky Pirates train because of the credit that we got from them for our Christmas. And again, this is a 3-hour event and that is a 4-hour event. So the remainder of the credit went to the Christmas one. So we went ahead and confirmed that because otherwise we'd lose the credit. So we have those 2 trains. Now, if we want second trains, we need to go ahead and let me know. So we can-
We already approved a second train for Christmas. I'm sorry I don't have my note, but I have it all written down. And I can see it where it is. It's on the bottom center of my page written out.
So we want 2 trains for each event, true?
Well, I don't know. We already have 2 at Christmas. I was just confused why we were, I believe we have 1 at 4th of July. So if we need to get a second one,
If you, yeah, I mean, it's been recommended that we get 2 for each event.
yeah, the line is very long.
Right.
And we still have funds, right? So we might as well just get another train. Who can give us a second train? Do we have one?
Yes, inflatable party magic.
Oh, that's who has the other one.
No, the Sky Pirates.
No, at Christmas. Sorry, I'm digressing.
It's vice versa.
Inflatable
Party.
and Sky Pirates. So for 4th of July, we currently have Sky Pirates.
Right.
And we need to pay another fee for inflatable thingy. And how much is it for just the train?
$13.80
That doesn't make any sense.
for an extra train?
Yeah, the train, the tent, the Mistafan, the Portacool, and the fan is only $1,800. Why is it the same price? You said $13.80?
That's a different train. Sky Pirates, okay, I shouldn't have merged that field over.
So what do we pay for Sky Pirates train?
You're using a credit for this one, and you have $222 credit left on the next.
No, I'm sorry. What was the cost of getting the train? Like on the invoice, what is the line item for the train? How much does a train cost for 3 hours? Because I did the quotes 2 years ago, and I don't remember them being $1,380. I feel like I would have remembered that.
Should be like 11 for 4 hours. Well, if you say you have a $280 credit.
222 is the credit.
222, okay.
So it's about $222 per hour for that.
Well, $222 times 4 is $888.
Okay, so
such a demand on July 4th that they can name their own price. Christmas I can understand, but.
$1,099.05 is how much we paid at Christmas for the train for 4 hours from Sky Pilots.
Okay, but we're paying $13.80 for 3 hours from inflatable train, inflatable magic?
For the Polar Express when you want.
You just told me it was $13.80 to get a second train for the 4th of July. Are we talking about, well, let's just talk about 4th of July only.
Well, I don't know. I don't have the price. Like, I have their website.
So for the second train at Christmas, it was $10.99, or this train is $10.99. Which one is $10.99?
This one that we already paid for last Christmas, but we used the credit to cover.
Got it.
July.
But their line item to have a train for 3 hours is $10.99.
Yes.
But you said it was from last time for 4 hours. So that's why I'm confused. We paid $10.99 at Christmas, or we're paying $10.99 for 4th of July?
You paid $10.99
Okay.
last Christmas.
For 4 hours.
Yes.
And how many hours is 4th of July?
3.
So we paid $800 for the train that we have currently because we have a $200 credit off of the $10.99. So it cost us $800. And the other $1,000 in this line item here is for the tents and the fans, correct? You see where it says $18.29?
$18.29 is for everything not counting the train. That is for 2 tents, 2 fans, tables, lights, mister, chairs, tables, all that.
Okay.
I should not have merged
Yeah.
this
Got
square
it.
into that.
I'm back. So our line item that I can write in for the trackless train that we already have is $880. You said it was $10.99 and we had a $280 credit? What was the credit?
It covers the train for these 3 hours, and you had $222.
$222,
credit
so
that we were spending
$10.99.
at Christmas
Okay, that makes
on a train with him.
$10.99 minus $222. So that means the line item for trackless train is $877. So $10.99 minus $222. So what we paid minus our credit leaves me $877. But to get that same train from inflatable, it's going to cost $13.80.
I'm gonna look in 1 second, but inflatable charges more for the train.
Twice the price?
No, it's not twice the price. Hold on, I'm gonna get this train price right here. First, Sky Pirates train for June the 27th. So because of the way they credit the damage liability protection, the delivery and setup, and they applied the rain check, it left the balance, credit balance on this statement for $172, but he gave us the $50 credit for the delivery, which brought it up to $222. So it's not gonna reflect right on paper.
So $10.99 minus $172.
So you're gonna owe another $800 for the Christmas train.
I just want to know how much we're paying in July. So it's $927. So we're getting a train for $927 in July, but the other one is charging us $1,380. That's what's not making sense. I just don't want to approve somebody who's $500 more when if they're only $900, somebody else has got to be $900.
Let me just see how much the train is. I know it's about, it's more. Trackless train is
We need to go into the train business.
$800 for 2 hours.
And this is with inflatable?
Yes.
Okay.
And then we're going to add,
So they're the same price for 2 hours that the other guy is for 3.
pretty much.
So let's get a different train company.
And if we don't get one this year, too bad. We'll get another one.
I might have them or might not have them, but I had about 4. Remember we were trying to do the Christmas ones a couple years ago? I said, let me help you. And I don't remember them being $1,500 for a couple hours. And I know inflation, but this is only 3 hours and not 4 hours. Like, I don't understand how it's
Well,
$13.80.
we discount it down too because we order so much stuff from them, but
So their discount is $13.80?
No, the other company.
Inflatable Party Magic, they put a discount, since we buy so much stuff.
But you're saying the discount was, they were asking, maybe I misunderstood. You said to get a train from Inflatable Magic, it was $13.80.
I am going to look it up.
You just said that because I wrote it down. If I'm wrong, then that would make more
Well, that is
sense.
the price for the Polar Express one, but remember, it's like $2.50, $2.25 more than the regular price.
Okay.
This is Polar Express.
But that's the one we want for Christmas, not for.
So confused. This is what happens when you bring your binder.
Well, it won't let me book it past 8 o'clock on the website, so. That's up to you. Let me see how much it is. Yeah, it's not broken out, so it's a combo of train, tents, porta pools, and all that. Well, whatever you want to do, add a train, bring some train quotes.
We have one meeting.
Do we have other trains we can try to get quotes from?
Yeah, I have them at home.
Okay.
I didn't mean to sound flippant when I said that. I have several at the house from when I looked at Christmas a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And they may have gone out of business or traded or whatever, but. Or we can approve 1,000. I just don't think it's,
Yeah, I was gonna say we could approve $1,000 for it. If it doesn't exceed that, then she can go ahead and get it ordered.
okay, I'll motion to approve up to $1,000 for a second train if available from a company at that price. If it exceeds that, then Katrina can let me know and I can bring some different estimates.
This is Cindy, I second.
All in favor? None opposed?
Okay. Now, looking at the vendors on the flip side,
City Swimming Clinic, is that the new place that's gonna open up?
Yes.
Mid-Cities Women's Clinic?
yes, it is. It is.
Oh, that's a nice donation.
Yes, they sponsored a few things already, even though, they're not open yet.
So I have a question, and I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Michael's EMT light-up toys, I think we need to make a disclaimer that if you are a mobile vendor, it's an additional vendor fee. You know how they walk up with their card at the end of the night and try to sneak in? And I think we should have a designated badge that they'll have to wear so that we know that they are a registered vendor.
Yes, we put that on our list.
I think we need vendor badges.
For all the vendors or just the mobile?
I don't know.
Generic vendor? Not personalized or anything?
Like Hazlitt 2025 vendor
Yeah.
with a lanyard string.
Good
But
luck
just for the
getting by.
mobile ones, or?
I mean, I think that's probably fine. Approved mobile vendor.
Yeah. Okay.
Does everyone think that's a good idea?
I think so. Yes.
So they want to pay the same vendor fee, or? are you
So, yeah.
suggesting- okay.
Yeah, you're making just as much money walking around as you are at a spot.
Well, and that's what we did last year.
And if the food trucks want to start walking around, then what do? They have to have a mobile vendor fee, right?
But it's the same fee,
Yeah, sounds great.
Making sure I follow, that's what we did last year. They're not the
Yeah, make sure they know that if they're moving, they have to have a separate vendor fee.
Or they just have to have a vendor fee.
No, they have to have a separate one. If you have a booth and you're a mobile vendor, that's a double fee.
Okay, I follow you, yes.
Yeah. It's one fee for every booth, and a mobile booth counts as a booth.
I agree, okay. Okay, so if y'all want to limit, I think if you want to limit the types of vendors and the exclusivity, that we should look at that for 2026.
Great.
And maybe, come up with new vendor
Fee
fees.
schedule.
If you're gonna be, if we're only gonna have 2 snow cones, then maybe they pay more or something. But for 25, people are already mailing in their fees and everything, I think we're just gonna have to go with the.
Great. Do you have a donut place? I have a friend that said she emailed you about donuts.
Have not received one.
Huh.
We've had a donut vendor before, but
She said it was like Ebony's Mini Donuts or Donut Queen or something.
no, it was called, the one that we had the one time.
That was a National Night Out, wasn't it? Because those were free.
Yes, and it was out there out of Denton, that's all.
Yeah. It wasn't that one. It was another one. But they were good.
This is everybody that has sent in a vendor form as of today.
So last year, I think the one thing we struggled with was all the parking and all these vendor trucks. Too big, too small, not enough space for my truck. Are we going to try to deal with that this year a little bit more?
Well, I think once they understood that they couldn't keep their vehicle with their big working unit, they weren't happy about it, but there's just not room for all those.
Yeah, no,
So
I
it-
get that, yeah. Because again, there's people, unfortunately, always come in at the last minute. It's like, really, dude?
And don't we have a time cutoff?
And I added that to my email that says, if you have a separate trailer or truck, you will understand that you will be required to drop your trailer and park your vehicle in the event parking area. Like,
So
I'm probably not reading all that.
when can they come and start? At noon? And the event starts at what, 3?
4th of July starts at 6.
6?
6 p.m. to 10 or to 9 plus fireworks.
I think we need a time limit on when they can, like, if you show up after 4:30 or 5, or 4, even 4 o'clock. If you show up after 4 o'clock and you have not set up your thing,
Hand truck that stuff in.
then you are not going to be
No
able
truck.
to
Right.
make
and
sales.
I think it worked well last year how whoever was at the gate, be it volunteers or whoever had the vendor list, and unless you could say, hey, you're coming in with this vendor, they didn't let you in, and then remind them they only have 30 minutes from.
I would say that if you arrive after 5 PM, you don't get to drive your vehicle in, and let them know
Oh, I
that
agree.
in advance. So when you send out the reminder email,
Nobody can drive in.
nobody after 5.
Yeah, it's a
Because they start knocking kids over. No, they'll push it. Last year, they were coming in at 5:30. They're like, oh, I'm a vendor. And then the volunteers, but we need to make sure the volunteers know not to let them in.
I sure hope we have those good volunteers.
But it's a hard rule.
with the parking.
Are we going to have a separate spot for the vendors to park like we did last year?
The only spot available is on that AT&T lot, that corner lot.
Can they still use that until it's full?
James is gonna get special permission, he said they would get it mowed, but we always get permission from the AT&T rep,
Yes.
so let's plan on it.
So probably yes. And then are we going to be able to do the park board parking on that little, where we're not supposed to park, where the tennis court is?
Yes, they're just calling it VIP parking.
Okay.
But whoever works that corner around the AT&T thing, they just have to be diligent about telling people where to park. Otherwise, they start parking all over the place. Yes. And you need to line them up so that you can get the most in there you can,
I
so.
don't think James has the personnel to do parking over there.
Right.
If I'm over there, I'll be glad to help.
Do we have any other, I thought we had more activities than axe,
No, I think we need
bungee,
to
and
add
train.
some activities. You do have the bungee. And then it was requested on your lessons learned last year that we add a toddler age bounce house, but we also had, what's that thing called, activity one?
Obstacle course?
Yes, thank you. We had that. So, yes, we probably need to add.
Doesn't one of the churches bring bounce houses?
Sometimes.
Heritage Baptist is supposed to, but Brother Crawford's son is getting married that night.
Oh,
so
gosh.
Nobody from Heritage is coming. They did sponsor us $250, but they're not gonna have a booth and we won't have any volunteers from them.
Bummer.
Yeah, they apologize, but I guess, when the preacher's son gets married.
People show up.
Yeah.
They don't want to be sweaty when they go to the wedding.
So we will not have them. Okay.
So what other, what was the thing that, what's her name had us do, the snow pit, but it was foam pit? We decided not to do that because it was gross, right?
It's on your list, so to bring
Yeah,
it
that's
back.
disgusting.
I think it's
Somebody
disgusting.
put it on the lessons learned, so we should bring it back.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. What else is on, is there anything else that's on there? That's maybe something that we all like?
Add more no parking signs.
Okay,
Face the van the other way, they already vetoed that, so we're facing it the same way.
okay.
Add additional activities such as rock climbing. And give the walking vendors a lanyard. Have the mayor speak later. Possibly less porta potties, which James said we're having porta potties. He knows nobody really likes to use them, but we have to. So. Bring back a foam pit. Have public works set up earlier in the day so that we have everybody in it.
How about doing the, how about if we do the rock climbing thing?
Yeah, that's
You
fun.
know, at that big mountain looking thing? and- How much is that?
I have that here. I'm still, hold on, I'm looking to see if we, I think we told vendors 10 a.m. last year, that they could start coming in at 10 a.m.
No, we didn't say that. For a 6 o'clock event?
Was it 12?
Yeah,
It was noon, yeah.
it was noon. That was even a stretch.
Okay. There we go, yeah. Well, I like it.
Should we set up at 10 now? Should we go?
Right, you would think. What am I looking for? Rock climbing. And they have, okay, that one that you just said. Says $900.
With an attendant? Because that one company went out of business, right? The little family-owned one?
Yeah, I never turned, I think they moved away. This is for 2 hours. Additional hours can be booked. And
I think 2
it
hours
has
is
to
fine.
be, it has to be monitored.
I feel like 2 hours is fine, 6 to 8, because then it gets dark. And rock climbing, you really want to be able to see.
It's a little bit important.
I mean, I think 6 to 8 is fine for the rock climbing. They can just fold it down at 8.
So that then they're stuck till the end.
Yeah, well, they're going to come with a group. They're going to have all their trucks together. We usually bulk it up. Like the bungee guy will be the rock climbing guy, and they all come in and drop everything off, and then they all leave together. Do they have a bounce house also? What are those, like 400?
Do we want the obstacle also, or there's a million bounce houses on here, you gotta be a little more specific.
Youngest kid, man, you pick.
For bounce house?
Obstacle bounce or regular bounce?
Obstacle.
I say both.
Well, some of the obstacles have the bounce at the end, like where you obstacle through and then.
But then you're getting, little kids are getting, right, remember the request was to add one just for toddlers?
I don't know how you're going to keep out
You just put like 2 and under, so they're not getting bounced around by the big kids. Or 3 and under.
If it's tiny, they're not gonna have much interest in it anyways.
Yeah, isn't there one that has like low sides so the parents can reach in and grab their kid? Isn't there one that's like, it almost looks like an arena?
Balls in it, maybe?
Like a boxing arena?
Yeah, like a little boxing arena, but then the little kids can jump in it.
I haven't seen that.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
I'd rather see a box though. That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
no kidding, that'd be fun.
We were somewhere and they had jousting, and my kids jousted on the little inflatable thing.
They also have, you know, a bunch of slides, but we're not gonna have water on them. Okay, the plain Jane bounce house, the little one, the normal one, for 2 hours is $162.
$162?
So like, so you could get them for 4 for $320? That's a pretty good deal.
I mean, if you want, the castle one is $335. If you want the
Do you think
army one, it's $185. If you want the tea party, you know, they.
Is that all for 2 hours?
That's a 2-hour price. If you want the Candyland one, it's $535.
Hmm.
If you want this dinosaur one, it's $300.
Yeah. So hot.
But like this page is amazing.
Well, how about the castle one?
And it was so freaking hot, the kids couldn't use it.
And
Yeah, when we do summertime, we do the
good
water.
could the Candyland one be?
Can you pull up
Dinosaurs.
can you pull up the
Dinosaurs.
bouncy house thing so we can see it?
Portable party room.
Yeah, just a couple of pictures, we'll pick out 2 and, can we get them for 4 hours?
Well, I think they're only gonna want 3 hours, you're gonna want
Well,
like
3
6
hours,
to 9.
okay.
And then at 9:10, we turn all the lights off and celebrate the flag.
Right, so
And
they-
9:15, fireworks.
So I just pulled up a competing cities activity list, and it says face painting, inflatables, water slides, zip line, and more.
And we don't have face painting.
Yeah, because vendors were doing the face
Go to
painting,
the
right?
Toddler Bounce House. Rent only dry beer, what's that?
Like if it's wet, they won't rent it. What's the dump truck? That one's cool.
Okay, don't make any motions.
Go up, it's at the bottom. There it is.
Yeah. That one's kind of neat. And they climb all over that? And bounce it, okay. Let's see that one, and we'll do a girly one.
Oh wait, it says this only rents
What?
wet.
I think it's a water one.
It's a water one. We don't want that one. Go back.
Is there a filter?
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 No, of course not. Okay, so it looks like we
Click
can
the
get a
help
little
button.
Mickey Mouse. Don't click the help button. Go down a little bit. There's a little Toy Story one, and then again.
Toy Story is a good choice.
Keep going. I'm just looking to see if there's something that's obstacle-ish. See, there's that 5 sports obstacles. Oh, the Noah's Ark is cute. And then parents could grab their kids out. That's what I'm talking about, see?
Yeah.
Then if their kids need to get out, the parents can just reach over and pull them.
That looks like a good one, then. Yeah, that'd be a toddler one.
Do they supply this adult supervisor? Or do we have to do that?
We probably have.
Can you go back again and just make sure there's not something better? That one's $250 for however many hours it is. You can go kind of fast. Lego. Wow, double water slide. That's impressive. Oh, there's a monster truck. Yep, only wet. Never mind. I wonder if they're only wet because they have to not be able to dry them out. Are there obstacle ones on here? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Nope. Keep going. Nope. Keep going. Toy Story looks open. Does that one have open sides?
It says
8 feet. All right, never mind.
We can have the firemen try them out.
We can get Steven to man the door in his fire suit.
There you go. Nice and hot.
You can get two of them or one?
I'm just looking for, you can scroll, I'm just looking for an obstacle. Water slide.
Look at that. That's
Mmm.
That's cool.
$1,000.
8 hours.
For 2 hours?
8. Oh, there's a filter by. Now I see it. You see where it says filter by? See the little third tab over? No, go down a little bit. Right there. Let's see if you can do obstacle. Obstacle course rentals. Yay. Fourth one, two, three, fifth one down. No, on the left. There you go. Ooh, toxic meltdown. Mobile bumper cars. That would be fun.
That'd be cool.
Got a price on those though.
Oh, we did have those once before. And they set up on the, mm-hmm. Mm.
My kids have played on that 50-foot zip-it obstacle. That was a hit, and it was a wide variety of stages. You could keep a volunteer if you're less than 2 on one side, or might be too tall for a 2-year-old.
All right, zip it, 415.
Of age group 5.
Well, we're gonna have the 2 and under, so it's fine.
Okay.
Or the 3 and under, whatever. Rock climbing, 900. Okay, so toddler's arc or dog arc or whatever.
I like the art.
Yeah, I like the arc, yeah.
I like the arc.
'Cause you can see
So
through
arc
it.
is 250, the zip pit is 415,
And I like that one better than the dog, so.
and then the rock climbing is 900. How many hours was the rock climbing?
You said 2 was enough.
Oh, yeah, 900, sorry. 6, 9, 10, 11, 1565 for rock climbing, toddler's arc, and zip pit.
We also have the insurance, the baseball, we have on top of the baseball field. Our opening day.
And that's only 2 hours, right? I mean, I don't know.
No, these are for 8-hour rentals.
Okay, I didn't see the ones y'all picked. So
The bounce houses say 8-hour rental price,
okay.
so they can bring it early and set it up and, yeah. Okay, so the toddler's arc, the zip pit, 50-foot, what is it, 50-foot obstacle zip pit, and rock climbing.
What was the first one?
Toddler's arc, bounce house. ARK.
Park, like the boat, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Look at that, that's what I'm talking about.
I mean, there's your train, your 2 tents.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Green package, there we go.
We should have done that with the,
It's only $7,100.
it's probably how much we spent.
Comes with multiple bounce houses, your tent, your table, your chair.
18,
Look at that for
2,
next year.
3, 4. Yeah, we spent 6,000. It's about the same.
Okay, so you get a total, or are you making a motion?
Yeah, but now I want to trade. Motion for $1,565 to cover the rock climbing, toddler's arc bounce house, and 50-foot zip pit obstacle course.
I second.
And the price was,
$1,565. And next year, we'll look at the corporate picnic dream
you know, they
package.
had delivery fees and insurance on that, right?
Yeah. But we're getting all that stuff, so they need to give us a discount, because we can get all that stuff right there.
They will discount it
So the discount will cover the delivery fees.
approximately.
There you go.
So Sarah's the motion, Cindy?
Oh, yeah, second. Cindy seconded, all in favor? All agree.
Yeah, we have to look at that corporate.
Yeah, 'cause that is.
Yeah, that has everything that we get. It's the same price.
That's in those 3-hour cruise and that 2-hour cruise.
Need to put that on the to look at for next time.
You put it on lessons learned before we've had the lesson. Corporate
I
package.
looked at their website a lot. Last year we spent 4,400, so.
Yeah, we're up to
Well, they have an
6,000
event
this year, so.
Rental platinum package too. They have other,
Sorts of packages.
yeah. College event rental. We'll look at their event things next year. Okay,
All right.
that's it.
Anything else? Nope. Perfect. Movie in the Park, September 19th, 2025.
We're good. We already got the movie.
We have the movie,
We ordered the screen.
the screen. Did we decide on if we're going to do popcorn or let a vendor come?
No, we talked about it. Nobody's offered, right?
No.
You and Kyle.
Well, I never heard back from our sponsor either.
So lots of years ago, we used to get popcorn and bag it up ourselves and pass it out from the Poppin' Place and Keller. But I think we're not allowed to do that anymore.
I think COVID put an end to that.
Mm-hmm. I guess I can look and see what individual prices are. Or we could ask Kona Ice if they want to, or one of the vendors. What did we do last year?
You have that barbecue place?
Oh, yeah.
Kidwell's, wasn't it?
Did they like it? I thought we had ice cream. Oh, yeah, we had the carnival,
And, yeah, carousels.
the carousel ice cream place, and then a little barbecue place. Maybe that little guy that came to the, I say little guy, the guy that came to the Easter egg hunt would want to set up.
Maybe, I feel kind of like we can't exclude people. Like,
Yeah, but if we're not charging, we can hand select. It's a free event, so we get to choose.
That's true.
and just offer it to one person.
They do the same thing with baseball fields. They pick who they want to come.
Remember, we were going to do different food trucks, and that didn't pan out very well, but it's the same kind of concept. We just pick somebody and say, hey, would you like to be our exclusive person? Donate 10% of your sales to us, and you got it.
So we just charge the fee. No, we didn't.
I think we just asked them to come to see how it worked.
It has to be something simple, though. I mean, you don't want an overkill,
Right.
you know. I don't-
Well, they're used to getting free in and out, and now they don't get it, so
Yeah,
they've got to pay
exactly.
for it, so it can't be too expensive, but
I think that's my response. It's silent.
yeah. Oh, we can think about it. It's fine. National Night Out, October 7th, 6 to 8. Christmas in the Park, December 6th, 2025. We can figure out the train thing when I have my notes.
Yeah.
Because I thought we were pretty good for Christmas.
I think we are.
I think we're good.
Yeah, remember the mayor was here, and we don't need to approve it individually.
Well, we still will do that, so. What future agenda items does anybody have?
Lessons learned from Memorial.
Lessons learned, Memorial Day.
And hopefully update on whatever he comes up with. The latest
So future agenda items. I don't know, do we even need to have a meeting next month? Oh, yeah, we do.
Did you ask that those parks be put back? Didn't you ask?
I've asked so many times, it's not worth me to keep asking. I've emailed the attorney, I've asked the council members, I've asked the mayor. I have no one else to ask.
And so all
We are
we
just a
got-
voting body,
All we got was page 15.
but for the record, we are not a party planning committee. So anyone at home who's listening, we have great insights amongst the diverse group of people that are at this table of Hazlet.
I know somebody was
And that's it. All right, adjourn 7:44.